Hey viewers, Lance Mechanics here, and what the heck's going on here? Let's talk about it. So Bluetti has been following my channel and they know I want to get more into the DC side, electric off-grid. So they sent me this battery, which is pretty amazing, and they sent me something else. They sent me this solar panel. They must really like me because this thing is wicked. It'd be really cool if I could mold this to the BMW somehow, but just on my LED shop lights here, we're getting 18.5 or 18.3 volts. I got the leads mixed here. You can see that there, but that's pretty damn impressive just on these stupid little shop lights. So yeah, this is neat. This thing will charge this pretty damn quick. So when I got this out of the package, it was about 5%, which I imagine is for shipping. And let's get into some specs here. So if you want to download the program, it's right here. Or I should say the app. It will give you a warning because it doesn't come from Google Play. So you have to download it, and here's what you get to see. So before I get too far ahead of myself, we'll say LiFePO₄ or LiFePO₄ is AGM. It's an AGM battery. It is not a lead acid. Lead acid is out. It's useless in solar generating. Way too expensive, way too heavy. This is what we're going to talk about. But now back to the thing. So when you get it, it's at about 5%, which is shipping voltage. And once you download this app, you're able to see, I'm in offline mode right now, and you can see it's charging at 15.1 amps. It's showing about 20 on here, so there's a little discrepancy. It is showing the same voltage, and right now the state of charge is 72%. So let's go see what that's at. Or sorry, 13.3 volts. Let's go see what the state of charge shows on that. So silly me, lost my English instructions, but numbers are numbers. So SOC state of charge, we're at about 13.335, which puts us around 70%. So this chart's very accurate, good reference. Lots of good info in here. Don't lose your English instructions like I did, but there's still, you can follow pictures. Pictures are foolproof no matter what the language is. So let's get back to the, oh, by the way, at about 20 amps, it's gonna take 5 hours for this to reach its maximum charge. And the internal battery temperature right now is 19 Celsius. We'll get back to that in a few minutes. All right, so let's talk about the obvious here, weight. This thing weighs nothing. I got it on the hood of my vehicle as a visual demonstration. You generally don't put heavy things on the hood of your vehicle. So it's roughly about 65 pounds. I can lift it up. Most people, your work requirement is lift 50 pounds. You can handle a few more pounds. So the damn thing is light. They say 12% lighter. I mixed that up, 62% lighter, but what they're saying is 12% is the size. It's 12% smaller, fits into better things. So generally this orientation upright like a Lego brick, it's got 4 little dowels there to sit down. This is the only orientation you'll keep it in. There'll be instructions showing you, again, I don't have the English instructions, and it'll have a check mark on the bottom showing you the orientation in 3 wrong positions. Again, you don't need to speak the proper languages to understand upright, and that's upright. You'll get it. So the thing is, it's not a lead acid battery. So it's LiFePO₄ AGM. It's 280% more dense than a lead acid battery. Lead acid in off-grid and solar and deep cycle batteries, 12-volt applications is like, it's the horse and buggy of batteries. This is where everything is. You can still buy that stuff at solar places, but it's like tucked away in the corner. Nobody wants to deal with that anymore. It's heavy, it's bulky, it's expensive. It doesn't last as long. Speaking as lasting as long, it's got 6,000 cycles. So what's a cycle? A cycle is generally from 100% to 5%. I say 5% because they say not to discharge it more than 5%. A BMS system will handle that. I'm sure the battery's internal Bluetooth system will give you a warning saying, hey, if you're at 5%, you still need incoming power. Do not discharge it more than 5%. If not, I'm sure some contact system in your solar setup will protect it. Huge. So 6,000 cycles may not sound like a lot, but if you're cycling this maybe 20 or 30 times a summer, you do the math. It is rated for 10 years. 10 years is a long time for a battery. Batteries in cars, man, we use those hard here in the north, and we get like 5 to 6 years, sometimes 10 out of an AGM battery, and we abuse them. The one in my Beamer is original, and it's a 2010. I should just replace it on preventative maintenance, but until it fails me, until I get a -40 cold snap and I hear, I'm fine. If not, I'll just throw this in the back of the car and use it. So the big thing for this battery is it got self-heating. Let me show you. So here's a better view of the exterior of the battery. Here you have your data link in, data link out. Vent, just in case something happens, positive, negative. So self-heating system, a little hollow in there, you need air to heat up. So over here, you'll have this little button, you hold it, and it's letting you know it's on. So if I were to stick this outside, it would maintain, well, the self-heating kicks on when it reaches 0, but it wants to get it to 26 Celsius because that's when it'll charge the fastest. So it's going to maintain that battery temperature. And yes, it's going to use some of the battery, but it's huge. So if you had this outside in the lower weather and you had it hooked up to a solar system, yes, it's going to heat up a little bit. It's going to use a little juice, but it's going to charge more efficiently while you're at those peak hours. So like any battery system, you can expand it up to 24 volts, series, parallel. They say it can reach, with their configuration, 385 kilowatt hours, which is huge. And it's still really good for solar. Solar has gone to 24, 32 is not so common, but 48 volt systems. This will get you done. This will do you well for RVs, boats. They actually make a smaller battery that says trolling motor on it. It's the next one in series of this. It comes before this one. This one's double in size. And that's where they're aiming at. This market is where it's going to be. I have another video where I show this hooked up to my Viver diesel heater. Again, perfect example, off-grid solar. And that panel on the windshield there will keep this thing charged. So I talked to a solar dealer around here, and he hooked this battery up, and it kept a 12 volt fridge, a fairly decent sized one. I'd say it was probably, my size, it's upright, it's 6 feet tall. It's probably about 2 feet wide. He said it kept it going for 3 days, which is impressive on one battery. And he knows this little solar panel here will keep it maintained. So depending on your needs, this may be just enough for your RV and going off grid. You can even throw this big ass one into a boat for trolling motor. Let's check the specs. So I'll let you do the math here. 314 amp hours, 4 kilowatt energy, and max discharge of 140 amps. Most starters on a car will draw that initially, but they drop down to 80 amps. So this thing will power your trolling motor for quite a bit. It'll handle your RV needs for quite a bit. And again, if you have some type of solar backup going into a BMS system charging this, this will last a pretty damn long time off grid. So let's talk about what is IP65 triple protection. So that's basically just how well it's sealed against dust, water, and all that fun stuff. So what's that mean to you? So the 6 actually has a rating, meaning it's protected against dust and any solids coming into the battery. So shop environments, road conditions, it can be exposed to the elements. The 5 means low pressure water jets. So you can get water on it, wipe it down, expose it to the elements, but just don't submerge the thing. As I mentioned earlier, it has a vent. Water could probably get in there. It's not meant to be submerged, but it can be, you can spill stuff on it and not worry. Let's be simple here. So you're gonna see all these ratings on the front of the battery, but there's one that they're particularly proud of, 5VA. What is that? It's not amperage, it's about fire resistance. So 5VA is the highest fire resistance rating you can get for a plastic enclosure, which is pretty good for a battery if you ask me. So yes, there is some fire retardant or retaining or whatever the heck you want to call it in this battery. Think of when a Tesla battery goes up, you're going to see smoke come out. We don't want to see that. Hopefully we never see that. But it's telling you that, yes, it is rated for fire. So if something happens in that battery, you got some time. It'll hopefully help fight it. Actually, I had to go to the site here. The 5VA self-extinguishing enclosure. That's pretty impressive. It means the outer shell material won't continue burning once the flame source is removed. Even if the surface chars or melts, it won't drip flaming material. It can withstand direct flame for up to 60 seconds without creating a hole in the enclosure. That's pretty damn impressive if you ask me. So that means if something goes wrong, you may not visually see it. You'll have to pull it out of the circuit and actually test it and maybe see if the app is transmitting, but that's impressive. Again, it's something we never think about. All this, and then you come to a lead acid battery, and if this thing was to short or explode, you'll hear it. I've seen guys underground put a booster on this and the whole top of it just ignited, like separated. So good on them for doing that. So I figured I'd get the thermal camera out and show you what's going on. I had this outside earlier and it was showing about the same temperature, but against the cold background and the snow, it looked a little more contrasting, but it is maintaining the 23.2 Celsius. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, it's a little warm in here, but it is doing well. The light is on, you can compare it to my multimeter here. But yeah, it's pretty neat. So far my impressions of this are pretty good. So I had it outside on that diesel heater for 3 days. It maintained its temperature. I had it at 100%. That diesel heater did suck up a bit of juice, and I was showing you for charging demonstrations of what it was taking. So it went from like 90% to 75 after 3 days. I'm happy with that. And this isn't gonna be a one and done video. I'm looking at buying property and doing off-grid videos. So this is gonna play a big part in getting me forward on what I wanna do. As you guys know, I love electrical, I love DC, and I love off-grid and everything electrical. So you will see some more content with this. And I'm kind of wondering how well this would work in a car, because it has self-heating and it has quite the friggin' capacitance. Would this be better long-term in an automotive solution or application like a big diesel truck? I don't know. I would be curious to find out. I don't mind destroying an expensive battery for science. So yeah, Lance Mechanics, post what you think. Again, this isn't gonna be a one and done video. I got some content coming out in the future where I'm gonna be using this. So again, hope you liked it. Have fun, stay tuned for the next video. Take care.